Hey you, and welcome. My name is Dan, and in this whole video... Who's writing my script? Was it the new guy?
Yeah, it was me.
Thought so. Anyway, in this whole video, we're going to go in and say a big thank you to all of the supporters out there for my Soma Teacher 7 channel, and over 4 million views. Awesome. 13,000 subscribers. That's awesome too, but also I gotta think about something here. 4 million views and only 13,000 subscribers. So apparently what people do is they go in, watch the video, and not subscribe. So I'm going to ask you now to go ahead and subscribe. Click on that bell icon so you do receive notifications when new videos come out. And what this video is all about, by the way, it's about you, because you're the ones who promote the video channel and you are the ones who support it as well. And what I do is every once in a while I put out a poll or a survey, and as you can see here, I ask, okay, what kind of videos do you want next? And most of you chose Chromebook help, which that's nice. What I do is I'm a teacher, and in my computer literacy class we do a lot of Chromebook help. And so that's awesome. Next one down there was product review, which is kind of surprising. So last week, guess what I did? I did a product review on this camera. So I got this camera, and then what I did was I did a quick review of it. It's less than 5 minutes long, so if you haven't seen it, click it right there and you can actually see that video there. But I go in and talk about it, show what it can actually do and all that. And another one there that kind of surprised me was Minecraft. I go, okay, Minecraft. So apparently I have 1 in 5 of my subscribers out there actually enjoy Minecraft. So I guess I have to put out some more videos of Minecraft. I have, in the past, I've been playing it for years, and so my world in Minecraft is gigantic. And the tricks that I play, I'll go in there and I'll put down a structure block and then another structure block around a structure that I created, and then copy that structure and then paste it in other locations in the world. So maybe you want videos like that on how to do things in Minecraft. But anyway, we'll see. I'll put another survey out here after this video. Make sure that you go in there and click on what kind of things you want. Kind of surprising to me was the Tesla help, and it's a very small percentage there want the Tesla help. I probably won't be making any videos of the Tesla here lately, and I'll probably wait till more people buy Teslas and then they need more help working with their Tesla. That makes sense, right? With the Chromebook help, it really makes sense because more and more people are getting Chromebooks, and there's just an explosion of sales going on in the Chromebooks. They're cheap, as in not very expensive. Not that they're cheaply made, but that they're not that expensive. So you can go and get one for less than $200. If you watch some of my other videos, I actually show you and give you links to where to go to, such as Acer or Acer Recertified, Walmart, believe it or not. Those types of places you can actually get a Chromebook for less than $200, and it'll be something with a 15.6 inch screen. And usually what I recommend is for you to get a touchscreen. So make sure it does have a touchscreen. That way you can have more diversity in the apps that you're running on that Chromebook, as far as downloading Play Store apps and also getting other types of apps on the machine. Basically, when you have a touchscreen, it really opens the world to you there. So I do recommend having a touchscreen. Let me see here. So that's the survey, and what I'll do is I'll make sure that I'll post another survey here along with this video and let you see. I might add in there Windows 10 help, although I was thinking about last night and asking my Soma Teacher team there, say, hey, what do you think about Windows 10 help? And it was kind of like, we already have those videos, and they're not bringing in a lot of income. So, but I will put the question out. So if you want Windows 10 help and you're really on fire for Windows 10, yeah, you want it, go ahead and make sure you do click on Windows 10 help on to add that type of video for you. All right, so what I want to do, this video is all about you. Now, I'm a teacher, as I said earlier, and what I tell my students right when they come into my classroom is I say, hey, this is your classroom now. This is your class. You don't need to feel like you're someone coming in from the outside. This is made for you. So if you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have a request, boom, go ahead and shoot it up to me. And the very next class, guess what? I cover that topic of whatever it is. And many times when a person asks a question, they're in class, we're right there, I'll just answer it. I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll answer it right there. And the reason why I do that is because I've been teaching for more than 20 years. These technology classes. Before that, I was an elementary teacher, and also I was a technician, a computer technician. So I did all kinds of wonderful things as jobs. And what I've learned is that if one person has that question, it's very likely that 35% of the people are thinking the same thing. And so when I answer that question right away, I'm answering not just one individual, but I'm answering, hundreds of individuals there who are in class. So there you go. And that's usually why I try to put forth the message that you are the ones who are driving the classroom. I'm here to facilitate learning for you. I have a vast knowledge of working with computer systems, both Windows 10. So if you have Windows 10 questions, boom, go ahead and shoot them up to me, and I'll make sure that I'll either write it in the comments of how to fix something, or I'll actually link you to one of my videos I've made in the past to answer that very same question that we got in class. So again, over 4 million views. That is awesome. So I want to give a big shout out to those who've actually contributed to the videos and actually have made an input as far as a monetary amount. And so there you are. It's going to be running down next to me there. And I know it's a fast list because some of you want to be kind of you're shy and all that. So thank you again there for promoting the videos and sharing, also in your comments, and also in clicking on the thumbs up. That really helps the videos. And then also as a monetary, actually giving money to the channel. You can do that always by simply clicking on, if you go to my Selma Teacher 7 channel and you look up in the corner, you'll notice that it says PayPal. Click there, boom. You can give 25 cents if you want to. I'll be happy. 25 cents, that's great. So a big thank you to all those who have decided to do that. And the other way that people have promoted the video is they've shared the videos on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, believe it or not. Many of my subscribers actually are on Facebook. And so they get to see me do work there. And I get to talk to you. I will talk to you one-on-one if you need help on fixing a computer. And as far as I know, there's not very many professional computer technicians that you can go ahead and just say, okay, I want to message this guy and see if he'll answer my question. The best way to get a hold of me is right down there with the comments, believe it or not. What happens is right when someone leaves a comment, I get a little message on my cell phone, I get a little message on my Chromebook saying, hey, someone has left a comment there for you, and I usually will get to it within the first few minutes. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer if I'm out and about. Maybe I'm teaching a class, a physical class, and I'll see the message come up, and I say, well, I'll answer it. In my mind, I'll say, okay, I'll answer that one as soon as the class is over. There's a few times when I noticed that, oops, I kind of missed someone's comment or question in the span of weeks or something or longer, and that was because on that channel, there might have been hundreds of comments a day on that one video, and it's just I couldn't keep up with it, and so I apologize if I skipped over your comment or your question there. The way the channel has been set up is every Tuesday morning we have a computer literacy lesson. And you say, well, why Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock California time? Well, that's because this channel is being broadcast from California, and I actually still have classes that I teach, and they're computer literacy classes. Normally what I find there is I find older adults in that class, and that makes sense. It's a free computer class, and a lot of the older generations they're getting Chromebooks, they're getting computers. They never had a computer before in the past, and so they're taking my computer literacy course. Now the other courses that I have would be like the A+ certification, N+ certification. Those classes right now, they're on a hiatus due to the COVID-19 thing that's been going on. So they haven't done the distant learning with those types of courses. Don't know why, because it's very possible that we could be doing that. So what I've done is any questions that come up that relate to A+ certification, or working with your computer, upgrading your computer, building a computer system, fixing that type of problem, well, guess what? I refer them to one of the videos I've made in the past. If I get a number of people asking the same question, and I notice when I go to the video that maybe that video or the steps have changed a little bit because of updates through Windows or updates in the Chrome operating system or in other types of things that we're doing, it's just different now. Guess what? I remake the video. Did this the other day when I went in, and I was receiving comments saying, hey, I'm getting I turn on my Chromebook and I get a blank screen. It seems like it's on and the lights are on the side, but it's just a blank screen. So what I did was I actually made a video of me opening up a Chromebook, and the link to that video is above me right now. So you can actually click there and get to that video if you need to do that. But what we do there is I actually open up a Chromebook, take you step by step how to open it up, and then I point to certain areas on the main board that are issues. That is problems that I get. So let me get small here. There I am. Now I'm inside this video. And in this video, you can notice that, okay, I show you how to open it, and then even the easy way, opening up from the back in the hinges there. And then what I do as well is I go in and I point to certain problem areas that I get. Now, these problems are not unique to Acer or HP or Asus or any of those, or any brand like that. What happens is problem number one is a loose display cable right from the main board, and that may happen when someone drops their Chromebook a certain way and it doesn't fall off. That's the problem. It's not real obvious when you open up your Chromebook that you are, that's the problem. But you open up your Chromebook, and then I show you how to reattach that loose display cable there. The problem is that there's another end to that cable, and that's in the back of the screen. And I didn't do a video on me opening up the back of the screen. The reason why I do that is because, well, that's a little bit more involved, and I don't want you to destroy your warranty. So a disclaimer is, if your machine is still under warranty, hey, just take it back to the shop and have them fix it, right? That's my number one choice. If the machine is still under warranty, boom, take it back to the shop. Number two, if the computer or the Chromebook, if it's still a machine that's being managed by either a school, business, or your work, all you gotta do is take it back to your IT team, your tech team at work or at school, and say, hey, this is the problem that I'm having. What's going on here? And guess what? They will give you a new one. No questions asked normally. I work at a school, and I have hundreds of students. and they will bring me back a Chromebook. And we give out Chromebooks free in my school district. No big deal. I get it. They open it up and they say, see, it's not turning on. And I'll do some of the steps that I actually show in my videos. And 7 times out of 10, the machines will actually turn on. Sometimes I have to repeat those steps 3 times though. And so that's that. Here I am actually showing you that video. If you're interested in that, here's the link to turning on a dead Chromebook. But I'll do those steps sometimes 3 times. If it's one of the flip or the spin Chromebook models, you'll have to press the power button that's on the side of the unit. You have to press that for like a good 15 or 30 seconds basically before it actually shuts down, and then you close everything off, wait about 15-30 seconds, sometimes longer, and then reopen it, and then it wakes up. Now if all that fails, like I said, 3 out of 10, they don't wake up. So what I do is, I go, no problem, I close it up, I put it in a box, and I assign them a new one. And we usually write out the paperwork, meaning, okay, they're receiving this Chromebook. They returned the old Chromebook. Great. And everything's good and copacetic as long as there's no physical damage. So physical damage would be like if it's a cracked screen. So if the screen is physically cracked, then it's like, I have to ask, well, what happened here? Did you sit on it? What happened? Sometimes, they'll fess up and say, oh yeah, I sat on it. Like, oops, okay. I still take them back, and I still write out a new one, and I have to write in there, well, the student sat on it. Now, we don't go in and charge that student. The student doesn't have to be scared that they're going to get a bill or something like that. The IT team there will get my notes on it, and they just throw it in a stack with a whole bunch of other dead Chromebooks. And it's kind of strange because at the end of the year, I'll actually get those Chromebooks back. And I go, yes, I got those Chromebooks back. And what happens is I then use those Chromebooks as a teaching platform for the A+ification class or for my other classes where we're doing repair work on computers. So everybody will get a broken computer knowing that it doesn't turn on. And then we take it apart. We do all kinds of wonderful things there. And so we have a lot of fun in those classes. I mean, everybody will receive actually more than one of those dead Chromebooks. And they take them home and say, hey, take them apart, learn the in and outs of opening and closing the innards, and removing the main board, replacing the battery, and all that good stuff. So there you go. Another problem that we have, by the way, when you're opening up a Chromebook is the hinges. And you may say, the hinges? What do you mean, the hinges? Well, the hinges break. And I'm serious, they break from within the case. So a student will open up the clamshell and they'll hear a pop or a snap. And what happened is the screws have jiggled loose through the hundreds of thousands of times of them opening up. Every time they have a class, they open up their Chromebook. Every time there's a break, or every time there's a session there where they're not on the Chromebook, guess what they boom, they close their Chromebook. And so this opening, closing, they might do it. My guys, they have 7 periods in a day. And so they might open and close it easily 40 times in that time period there, or every day, 40 times. And that loosens up the screws that are in the hinges. And once those screws become loose, they pop or they break the remaining threads that are barely hanging on when you open it up, because there's a lot of stress at that point, the hinge point. And then it doesn't open or close properly. All of a sudden you got a Chromebook that's kind of like, this is strange. It's not working properly. So what we do in my class is we open up the back of the clamshell. Again, very similar to that video where we're opening up Chromebooks. and we reattach the screws. Sometimes the threads are so gone you can't do any work with them. So what we do is we'll put the screws back in, and then we'll use JD Weld or some other compound there to glue the screws into place, let them set, and then make sure they work and everything, and then button up everything, and then give it back to the student or whoever is the owner of that Chromebook. All right, so hopefully that gives you some inspiration there on this poll or this survey that's coming up there. Go ahead and just fill in the numbers there to your heart's content, and you can leave a comment in there. So let's say that you look at it and you go, you know what, I want it on Chromebook Help, but I want this specific question to be answered by the Selma Teacher 7 team. So yes, all right, go ahead, and I love those, by the way. You leave a comment in there and you'll say, okay, I want this to be answered. Now sometimes it'll be on a product. So if you wanted to see a product, like maybe a video camera or one of these types of video cameras. I got so many cameras in front of me. Which one should I use? But anyway, you can say, hey, I want this type of camera, and guess what? I'll go and buy it. I'll go get it one way or another, and then I'll do a review video. It might take a week or two between the time that you ask it and the time that you actually receive. And the reason being is because those videos only come out on Thursdays. So Tuesdays are a special lesson that's for the computer literacy class, and then on Thursday are those classes, or those videos are all about either review, or they're on maybe helping you on the Tesla or other types of things that are going on. But usually they're in a direct response to one of my subscribers' questions. And that's why I say you're the star of Selma Teacher 7. It's not Mr. Barry. You're the guys who are really coming through and watching the videos. But it's up to you guys to share it on other platforms such as Instagram, or if you want to share it on your Facebook or on your Twitter, that would be awesome. I own a Tesla Model 3, so if you have questions about EVs, I had a whole bunch of EVs before the Tesla, believe it or not. I actually made a electric vehicle, 20 years ago, and was involved with it was a DC powered lead acid battery type, so its range was next to nothing. Really, we're looking at 20-mile range. The batteries weighed about 1,000 pounds, and it was DC powered with a Curtis controller. It was slow. It was fast for a car, really, but it was slow compared to what we have today. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. No, it didn't do that because it was so heavy. I owned the Fiat 500e. There it is. Boom. Had experience with that. Didn't make very many videos on that. In fact, let me think. I made maybe 0 videos with that in the title. It was a nice car and everything, but I always kind of ask the question in my head: do my subscribers really want to know about the Fiat? And I didn't think that many people would be interested in the car, so I didn't do it. Although it was very fast, it was economical. Free charging. There's a free charger just down the street from my house, and it's a quick charger. So it's like, click it, boom, done. Let's go. The range in that car was about 100 miles, and I think the longest I made it in that car, in the Fiat 500e, was about 119, 120 miles. That was really scary to go that many miles, because the stated range is about 84 miles. Now, another car that I owned was the Mitsubishi i-MiEV, and I made a video about that because I thought more people would be into the Meave because, oh my gosh, it's so cute. Let's try out 2017 Mitsubishi i-Meave. Boom! Boom! Oh yeah, rockin'! 0 to 60 in 9 seconds. Drive super smooth at highway speeds. Ultra compact design, yet large enough for 4 people. Cargo space from the back to the back of the front seat is 50 cubic feet, and behind the rear seat is 13 cubic feet. Interior space is actually quite spacious. I'm 5'10" and I fit quite nicely in the front seats and also in the rear seats. It receives 4 stars overall in the crash ratings test from the NHTSA. We've owned this Meave for about a year, and it works great to go shopping with. It's actually much roomier than you might expect. Now for the biggest surprise of all, range. When I was studying the Mitsubishi i-Meave, everyone was saying that it gets around 60 or 65 miles of range. But in this one, I routinely drive it over 80 miles. In fact, I've actually driven it 100 miles between charges. When I do my shopping in Visalia or Fresno, I actually travel around 75 to 80 miles before recharging. And many times when I do recharge, I plug into the solar panels that are around town, and I get a free charge from the sun. We love our Mitsubishi i-Meave so much, we've named her Pikachu. By the way, Meave stands for Mitsubishi Innovative Electric Vehicle. I thought I would have range anxiety, but after traveling with her for a year, she's never let us down. I always plan my trips in ahead, so I know exactly where we're going, our distances, and if I need to, where to plug in. I use free web-based apps such as A Better Route Planner and PlugShare. Not only do these help me plan my route, but they also show me all the EV plug-in stations that are along the way. And I can change the filters to show me just the free ones or the ones that have a charge to them. Speaking of chargers, let me show you how I charge my Meave. The quickest way is to use CHAdeMO. When I plug into CHAdeMO, I can recharge in about 15 to 20 minutes. Now this will give me about 80 to 85% charge. And then from that, I usually drive between 75 and 80 miles before I need to recharge again. Even though CHAdeMO is fast, there's still another way for me to charge my car that I actually use more often. And that's with the J1772 plug. Now, charging that way can take up to 6 or 7 hours on a fully flat battery, according to the manual. With my experience, it's usually between 3 and 4 hours. And there's a third way to charge your car. By many, this is the most convenient. It's to charge at home. Now, when I charge this way, it costs me about 2.1 cents per mile. Now, your cost will vary depending on how much you pay for your electricity and how hard you drive your EV. If you drive it a little bit easy, it'll be less. If you drive your EV really fast and always on the highway, your cost will be more. And here's a little known fact. Did you know with the Mitsubishi i-Meave as well as the Nissan Leaf, you can actually plug your house into the car with a V2H charger. This means that you can actually run your refrigerator, your television, and other appliances off of your car's battery if you have a blackout. And the next is about maintenance. Basically, there's very little maintenance, as it is with any electric vehicle. For better battery health, run the traction battery down to about 1 or 2 bars every month or so and then completely recharge your battery. Tires should be checked and rotated as it is with any car. And you can check your brake pads when you rotate your tires as well. Under the hood, you can check the windscreen fluid reserve, your brake fluid levels, and your small 12-volt battery. The traction battery, that large battery that actually gives you range, that battery should last 100,000 miles or 10 years according to Mitsubishi. For those who want to know how quiet it is inside, here I am driving down the highway on the Mitsubishi i-Meave. As you can tell, it's very, very quiet inside. Well, all in all, I'm very happy with my 2017 Mitsubishi Meave. The North American version is much larger than the Japanese version that I drove in Japan. My range is a lot longer too. And now for the lightning round. First off, the good. Surprisingly large interior space for such a small car. Large flat cargo floor when the seats are folded down. Heated front seats. Leather covered steering wheel. Good climate controls with cold AC and toasty heater. Rear wheel drive. CHAdeMO quick charge port. You can charge it at home. It's easy to park. It has a 100,000 mile battery warranty, Mitsubishi's EV battery recycling program, and no tailpipe emissions. So my next EV had to be a really ICE replacement. That means internal combustion engine replacement. I now know that I wanted something that was fast, maneuverable, and had a range of over 300 miles. Well, I actually found one with 350 miles, and that's the Tesla Model 3 long range dual motor. And I've been so happy. I've had it for a year now, and I'm never going back to any other car. It's just wonderful. The acceleration is there, the range is there. I can quick charge it at a Tesla supercharger station, or I could charge it at the quick charge stations down the street. I could charge it in my house if I wanted to. I have many options. Plus, it's just, everything on it is just really, really awesome. And I've never had a car really that could drive me places. So I think the best car I've ever owned is the Tesla Model 3. And there it is. All right. Hey, this turned out to be a little bit longer than I thought it would be. But all you gotta do is make sure you do click on thumbs up, share the video, share the channel, and let others know that, hey, give me a question and I'll try to help you with your computer problems or any of these other topics that we covered today. Hey, thank you very much, and bye-bye.